So once again, I'm only speaking to benevolent beings, especially those who find themselves being forcibly targeted with technology. My intent in this channel is to warn others of the parasitic species that is here. I realize that for many, it's hard for them to believe that there is another species here, that this is a farm, that this place is within, or that the technology is causing this to be an artificial inverted matrix. And it's been like that for a very long time. And they've been using humans as food. It's been this inverted matrix, I'm not exactly sure for how long, but a very long time. So my intent in this channel has always been to try and help others to navigate the best that they can what's being forced on them, and to try and warn others of what the actual fucking deal is here. Yes, you will find moments in life that you enjoy, that you're able to find peace, that you will find, benevolent beings, like such as possibly other humans, mostly animals, that you will still find that here. However, they have over millennia, or many millennia, been systematically feeding off of the benevolent life force energy here. So in every civilization, there becomes fewer and fewer because of the amount of forced fragmentation and fracturing and recycling that's being forced on benevolent beings here. This species always relies on a group of the inhabitants to help them do their bidding. In this case, it's that group that you know of, that you've heard of, that eats babies. Okay? Saying their name just makes it, forces more, pisses them off even more, and they end up trying to force more nasty. So I'll just call it the group that you're all aware of. Here's the thing. Why do they do that? Right? They try and do things in a removed fashion to try and evade and circumvent universal laws. So they try and get the inhabitants to do their bidding because they're the patsies. They're the scapegoats. They're the ones who are taking the hit. Now, that group of inhabitants, this group that we all have heard of, they don't think that they're the patsies. They think that they're the most specialist window lickers ever, right? Now, most of those whores have been cloned out. They're not even, the ones in human vessels are most likely not even the whatever, like, original, once nasty human piece of shit that was in there to begin with. They're cloned out whores. Okay? So, they get them to do the nasty because the reptilians are trying to put it all on them. They use the artificial frequency fence for many things. That's a big part of the AI system. What they have been raping, from much of what they rape from humanity, gets stored, gets put into and stored in the artificial frequency fence. They've been doing this a long time. If you personally had access to the artificial frequency fence, you would find that you would be able to go back many civilizations in many timelines, and you could see the beings that they have forcibly murdered via different methods. Now, they've propagated a lot of lies here. what this is they're only really going after the true benevolent beings who are of the original creator of this creation. So if you find yourself being targeted, it means you are of the true benevolent creator, and they are trying to, just like they did with the tribal peoples, the reincarnated Lemurians and Atlanteans. What did they do? They systematically annihilated them, depopulated them, dumbed down their people. That was done on purpose. They're trying to obstruct the true benevolent beings here from holding and radiating outward the original light codes. The true, authentic, organic frequencies, vibrations, lights, sounds, energies, and resonances, and light codes of the prior timelines. They're trying to obstruct beings from doing that, which is why they've tried to do what they've tried to do to tribal peoples. And it's what's being in this universe. Personally, from what I have now know of it, this universe is fucked. It's just whacked. I don't know if there is an entity or any kind of real intelligence running and operating this universe. It doesn't really seem like there is, because of what's being done here and what's being allowed. Like, animated dead entities should not be running amok in manifested creation. So either there is no higher intelligence running and operating the universe, or the bitch is whacked, right? This universe is parasitic. So again, for me personally, the creator's been MIA. I know that there are some who have more faith, right? And I don't really want to step on toes here. I'll just say, for me personally, the creator's been MIA, so I've had to do the best that I can to protect myself. And I'm sorry, one moment. I'm trying to figure out where I was going with that. So they use the artificial frequency to try and rape, and then to try and trick universal laws. So once again, it's going to be very important, as I always say, for benevolent beings, what's going to save your ass is your refusal of consent. They try to, they're using that group here, the cloned out inhabitants, to do their bidding, because they themselves are trying to evade universal laws. And that group, they use that group because that group, number one, most of them have been cloned out and are so fucking malevolent and vile that they don't give any fucks, right? So that group is willing to violate universal laws. It is most important for us to be always remembering the truth of things, always remembering that this is an inverted matrix, and what goes on within this matrix is not fucking allowed in this universe. So you have to always be reinforcing what you know of the truth of things, and always be pulling those truth frequencies up within you to override the forced lies that are being forced by the technology. And it's also, you have to do that with your own being as well, because they're using the technology to force lies onto the entire organic field. You have to be strong enough to pull the truth frequencies up within you, what you know to be the truth, in order to override what is being forced by the technology. And be going with that. So when they start forcing their bullshit, they're not allowed. They are not allowed. This is an inverted matrix. Just because they're obstructing universal laws in here does not mean that universal laws do not exist. It means universal laws do exist, and what they're trying to do is bully so much that they're trying to force you to give over. It's important to know that they're doing that because they're in massive fucking fear. You have to be remembering that always. Whatever it is that they're trying to force, it's because they're in massive fucking fear, and they're insane. And real universal laws do exist. And the second those bitches are exposed to real universal laws, they're going to be fucking incinerated. So what they're doing is they're trying to throw the kitchen sink at it, right? They're trying to come at you with trying to bully, trying to scare, trying to force fear, trying to get you to the truths that you do know. What they're trying to do is force so much that you don't, that you lose faith in those truths, or that they're trying to force you to not believe those truths and force you to believe the lie. That's one of the most important things on this recording that you have to fucking remember. They're trying to force so much and bully so much that they're trying to get you to forget the actual truth of things. Because they're that fucking scared. Know that it's their fear. Know that they're in massive fear and that they're insane. And that when exposed to universal laws, those bitches are going to be incinerated. Including the ones given the orders. We have to be knowing, those of us who are still present here, who are of the benevolent creator. We have to be always trying to hold the truth frequency, the truth vibration. And continuously be refusing consent. And moving them as much as we can, moving these bitches to universal laws. Devoid of all technology and devoid of all their magic. And devoid of all their clones. The clones have to be dissolved. Devoid of anything that they've raped from benevolent beings. Just a moment, please. What they fear is beings holding the truth of things. So that's why it's so important for you to be remembering within your own being, your own, what you have, the knowledge and wisdom that you have attained, the actual truth of things. It's important to always be doing your best to hold those, carry those, radiate those outward from your being, the truth, the actual truth of things, and do what you can to force out their lies. That true universal laws do exist, that they're using the artificial frequency fence to obstruct true universal law enforcement here. And that's another reason why I say it's going to come down to either they're going to be forced to shut off that fucking fence, or something that happens here, we're going to end up triggering full universal law enforcement. So one of those two things is going to happen. We need to do our best to stay as strong as we can, to keep pushing out their lies, forcing out their lies, knowing that the group that they're using is basically trying to throw the kitchen sink at it, because they're in massive fear. Know that the reptilians are riding them because they're in massive fear. So just keep pushing out the lies. I know that some of what they're forcing, well, they shouldn't be forcing anything at all. But I'll just say that they're in violation of all universal laws. Absolutely in violation of all universal laws. This inverted matrix needs to collapse. It needs to implode fucking immediately. And whatever that those of us who are still here, however it is that we can fucking do that, is what we need to be doing. It's what's being forced here is so grotesque and so abhorrent and vile that this entire fucking matrix, it shouldn't even be here. There shouldn't be an inverted fucking time loop matrix here. This is an abomination. And the amount of trauma and harm that they have forced onto humanity, again, is cannot be articulated. I mean, do what you can to find moments of peace in this existence. But please know that you are on a farm. They have been farming humans. That this is an inverted time loop matrix that we have to fucking get out of here. That that life here is manufactured, is socially engineered. It's to keep the inhabitants busy from realizing what the fucking truth is, from realizing that they're being used as food, to keep them from realizing what has been being forced on them. You have to be knowing the truth of things. And I know that these are very hard truths to come to terms with. But we have to fucking get out of here. I hope that you can hear the truth of what I'm telling you on a level that you can recognize. We have to get out of here. There should not be an inverted matrix. This should not be. It is an abomination. the frequency fence must be deactivated. Or the triggering of universal laws must be done. Now, I realize that most probably don't know how to assist with either of those. The way that I know is to continue. I'm sorry, just a moment, please. The way that I know to do this is to continue to try and help others see the truth of things, to help them to try and hold the truth of things, their true frequencies, their true emotions, that we need in the presence of real universal laws. There needs to be many of us holding, or as many of us that can be holding, the truth frequency, the truth of things. That way the frequency fence and those entities are in the wrong. Like, can you see what I'm saying? That there's a contradiction. That we're actually holding the truth of things and they're the lie. The technology is the lie. They're fucking dead animated entities that should automatically be incinerated when exposed to universal laws. They shouldn't be wearing any of our stuff. Again, pulling everything, pulling what you think has been raped from you out of all technologies, the artificial frequency fence, all clones, all technologies, all astral realms, all artificial realities. Continue to be doing that the best you can. If they give you flack, if you're finding that there's resistance there, you know the truth of things. You know that they are not allowed. That once you refuse consent, they are not allowed. So you keep pulling your stuff. It doesn't matter what kind of lies that they're trying to throw at you. They're lies. You have to recognize that they just keep trying to throw lies. You know the truth of things. You know that they're not allowed to do those things. You know that they're in violation of all universal laws. You know that they're animated dead entities that shouldn't even be here, right? You know the truth of things. So you override their bullshit. It doesn't matter what they're trying to force on you. You've refused consent. That's the end of the fucking story. You keep pushing them out the best that you can. You keep pushing them out and back the best that you can. You have to always rely on the truth of things. In true universal laws, you've refused consent, period. It means they stop coming at you. It means they are not allowed. And be reinforcing the truth of things, pushing them out, knowing you're holding the truth frequency over their lie frequency. And you're knowing that whatever fear that they're trying to force is their fear. So you know that the truth frequency that you're holding is going to override. Because you know it's not your fear. Because you know they're in total violation of all universal laws. And that this inverted matrix is wrong. That this inverted matrix is not allowed in any universe. That the technology that they're using is not allowed in any universe. That animated dead entities are not allowed in manifested creation ever. That the reptilians must be extincted because they're dead. They're dead parasites that shouldn't be in existence in this universe because they're dead already. And the same with the group of inhabitants that they've cloned out, that they're using on the surface to try and do their bidding. Those are dead entities that have stolen human vessels. They're not allowed. And if those of you in this, in your everyday life are seeing, I think it's important to be recognizing the correlation of what's being forced in the timing that those things are being forced, what the truths that you are trying to hold, and what you're seeing occurring in the physical reality. It's important for you to be recognizing the correlation of things and the timing of things, the timing of your realizations, right? The timing of your realizations, the timing of you holding truths, the truth frequency of things, what you're seeing in your personal field, as well as what you're seeing on the bigger, I guess, physical stage, right? That things are getting, I'm sorry, one second. Again, please know that I'm sorry for the interruption. Please know that your astral bodies are yours. That they have been trying to rape astral bodies. That they have been trying to wear and use astral bodies. This is so wrong on so many levels that, once again, it cannot be articulated. So in you taking back things that you think have been raped from you, please be also making it an important priority that you're pulling back all of your astral body out of all clones, out of all artificial frequency fences, all technologies, artificial realities, and just out of back from everywhere in this universe, everywhere from this inverted matrix, out of all clones, out of all malevolence, right? You don't want some malevolent whore trying to wear your stuff. Your astral body, just know that you need to put a very large focus on your astral bodies. that you shouldn't have some malevolent reptilian whore trying to wear you, trying to wear your stuff, trying to wear your frequencies. That shouldn't be occurring. That shouldn't be going on. Now, here's the thing, especially if you've refused consent, right? If you have some whore trying to wear your stuff, and you're, you know that they're trying to do that, and you've made the decision that you're not going to allow that. Okay, so you've refused consent. You have to remember that reptilians are so devolved that they do not, you have to recognize that the reptilians are like a need to feed. They're like zombies. They don't recognize any kind of, they don't respond to any kind of human emotion, really, because they're used to using humans as food, as a food source. So it's going to have to be you overriding their bullshit. You've refused consent. That's valid in universal laws, the real universal laws. That's totally valid. They shouldn't be doing what they're doing. So you're going to continue to take back what's yours, regardless of what they're throwing at you, regardless of what they're trying to force, regardless of what's coming out of their vomit holes. Right? We don't listen to what's coming out of their vomit holes because it's lies. We don't listen to what's coming out of their vomit holes. We shut them down immediately, because ain't nothing coming out of their vomit holes is valid. These are dead animated entities. Ain't nothing coming out of their vomit holes that's valid. They're going to continue to try and do the lie, con, and deceit bullshit. They're going to continue to try and fool you. They're going to continue to try and con you. They're going to continue to try and use your emotions to try and get you to either be in fear or give over. You have to override their bullshit. So just automatically know, right from the get-go, anything coming out of their vomit holes is lies. It's all lies. Cons, deceptions, blah, 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 whatever it is coming out of their vomit holes is lies. It's invalid. Shut them down immediately. You don't want to hear it. They shouldn't be talking to you because they're dead. They shouldn't be trying to force their nasty on you because they're dead. Okay? They shouldn't be doing anything. They shouldn't even be here because they're dead. They're very insane, very rabid. They're rancid. They're confused because they're dead. They shouldn't even be here. This matrix is inverted and invalid. There should not be an inverted time loop matrix here. Shit's wrong on so many levels. Okay? It's invalid. We go with true, organic, universal laws is what we do. The frequency fence obstructing those universal laws must be removed, must be deactivated, must be destroyed. It is inorganic and it is in violation of all universal laws. And so are they. So they must be removed. The frequency fence must be deactivated, destroyed. It is in violation of all universal laws. The reptilian species are dead. They are animated dead parasites. They should not be here. They need to be removed. The obstruction of universal laws must stop. So either the frequency fence gets shut off or universal laws are triggered. This inverted matrix must be imploded. because it is in violation of all universal laws. So, hopefully, that makes sense to any benevolent beings that might be listening. I'm really hoping that at some point there's a true benevolent larger force that decides to lend a hand in removing the dead animated parasitic infection. That would be awesome. But I know that the entity within this planet, from what I know of it, isn't warm and fuzzy, and there's been a lot of lies there that it's been propagating in order to fool the inhabitants here. Where do you think that this entity got that being's frequencies and vibrations from? Right? For it to be pretending to be a benevolent being, and the entity within this planet is mixed with AI. Where do you think that it got that being's frequencies and vibrations and energies from? How long has this matrix been here? Right? Since the end of Atlantis? Was it before that? You have to be extending your expanding what you know of things to other lifetimes and other timelines that you've been in. And there are entities right now trying to rape from me right now against the revocation of my consent, and they're trying to do stuff with the what they're trying to rape with technology. These bitches just need to be fucking ended. They sure do. Like, it should be, I guess what I'm trying to make clear is that at this point, this shit is so abhorrent, and they are in violation of all universal laws, that we need to do what we can personally, as well as a group of us. We need to be doing our best, doing what we can to try and end some shit. Right? I know it's a lot to ask of beings here, especially when many of us are being forcibly targeted. I'm just saying, we have to do our best to try and fucking end this shit and get out of here. The shit's got to stop. This is an abomination. What's being forced here is an abomination. And it's got to be fucking stopped. And we either get that fucking fence deactivated, or we get universal laws fully enforced in here. So I guess just be trying to think of ways to do that. Like, what can we be doing to try and get universal laws triggered in this place? What can we be doing to try and deactivate the artificial frequency fence? Right? And be doing that. Be using as much as you can your gifts, skills, and abilities to be deactivating the artificial frequency fence, devoid of anything it's raped from benevolent beings, removing everything that the frequency fence has raped from benevolent beings directly to universal laws, and then to be cleaned and returned to the benevolent beings it was raped from. Be moving the all dead parasitic entities directly to universal laws, devoid of any technology or magic, because they need to be incinerated, right? We need to be doing what we can to try and get this shit ended. And that this is kind of where it's at. It is. I mean, you can spend time thinking life is just going to go on, but take a look around. Take a look at what these dead entities are trying to do. Take a look at how much they're trying to get everybody into, like, things. They're really bringing up the metaverse and trying to get everything run by the AI system, right? Like, I guess what I'm asking is, are you one who is going that direction, right? Do you want anything to do with AI? Do you want them to be trying to get you, trying to force connections of AI to you in order to then continue to try and rape from you? Right? Do you want dead entities wearing your stuff? Right? Like, if you don't, I'm just saying, I know that many of us are tired because they've been doing this fuckery for a long time. But I'm just saying, we have to keep at it, and we have to keep trying to get the fuck out of here. This shit's an abomination. This whole inverted matrix is an abomination, and it's got to be fucking ended. So we need to be doing what we can and to get it ended. Hopefully there's a larger benevolent assistance at some point that's going to lend a hand and intervene here. But until then, I'm not letting these whores rape anything from me. They don't have my consent. True organic universal laws do take precedence, are valid, and we're going by those. I'm not going by their inverted fucking time loop matrix bullshit. We're going to do real universal laws. They don't have my consent. That means their shit fucking stops. I'm not doing their inverted bullshit. Shit's an abomination. So if you too are not doing abomination, and if you too recognize that there are true, real, organic, universal laws that stand, that take precedence over their inverted time loop matrix bullshit, then you need to be standing on that. And you need to be reinforcing, helping to reinforce those universal laws. Since we're still dealing with the obstruction of the artificial frequency fence. Right? But you need to be, you're an organic being, you're of the true benevolent creator, you need to be reinforcing true organic universal laws, the truth frequency of things. We need to be reinforcing that here because they're in violation of all universal laws here. And there shouldn't be an inverted time loop matrix here. It's an abomination. It needs to come to an end. It needs to be imploded. My apologies. I had to blow my nose. So This is a critical time. It's a very critical time. I guess just any benevolent beings who are listening, be doing the best that you can to recognize where things are at, to come to terms with the truth of things. To figure out where you're at with taking back your stuff, taking back what you think has been raped from you, pulling all of anything that has been raped from you out of this entire artificial matrix, that you didn't sign up for that you weren't given informed consent, therefore you have refused consent, and your refusal of consent per organic true universal laws stands regardless of their artificial frequency obstruction. It's artificial and they're obstructing true universal laws. It means it's invalid. Universal laws overrides. So be enforcing that. All right. So I guess if there's other things you can refer back. I'm trying not to do a whole lot of repeating. Just refer back to whatever place in the recording that was. And the time is critical. You can take a look at by what they're doing, trying to do on the planet, trying to do in this place, and how frenzied they're becoming, and how much in fear they're operating out of. You can hopefully you can gauge where things are at, and how much you really need to step up, moving things manually to universal laws, and back to the benevolent beings those things belong to, that have been raped. And be pulling everything that also be pulling what has been raped from humanity out of the artificial frequency fence and moving it directly to universal laws to be then returned to the benevolent beings those things were raped from. That way we're starting to take out the fence, right? We don't want the fence to have any part of benevolent beings. We don't want the fence to be recording or housing or storing anything that it's raped, right? We want to be removing what we can out of the artificial frequency fence directly to universal laws and or directly back to the benevolent beings those things were raped from. We need to basically implode this matrix, collapse the frequency fence. However it is, we got to fucking do that. So if you can see where things at, if you're seeing the truth of things, if you're able to help others understand what's being forced on this planet, what this place is, and what needs to be done about it, please do. The more of us that are holding the truth, frequency, the truth of things, is going to help us when everything is exposed to full universal laws. Okay? So please be working on it and doing your best to help other benevolent beings understand what this place is, what's being forced here, how this is an inverted matrix that's been being run by dead entities that are parasites that are trying to, living off of humanity, that have been parasitizing off of humanity, is what they've been doing. And it needs to fucking stop. So please, if you can, help. If you're in a place that you can help others understand, please do, or understand. And do the best you can to be removing things that they've raped from the artificial frequency fence and all clones, all artificial realities and astral realms, and moving it to universal laws to be cleaned and returned to the benevolent beings those things were raped from. Okay, so I'll go ahead and wrap up this recording. I know we're tired. I know a lot of us are very tired, and you know, I guess just keep doing what you can. Stay as strong as you can and keep doing what you can. If you are the true benevolent creator, you have it within you. So find it. Okay, till next time.